Yeah. So, in our previous class, we discussed about the some of the daily monitoring transactional codes which we will use in the daily basis in the our production systems to monitor the our system, how it is system. So, like dumps are there, any dumps are occurring, any system logs, jobs are failing. So all these transaction codes, we will monitor it. The same time, we also discussed about the tracing, right? So ST01 system trace, then ST02, like tune summary. So here we will discuss about, so like we will see buffers utilization, swaps, so memory areas. So all these things, so we discussed, right, in ST02. So the next one, and also ST05 also we discussed, right, tracing. So this is for the performance tracing. This is for the performance tracing. This we discussed. And this is for the system tracing to take the trace. So apart from that, so one more transaction code is for the ST03, ST03 or ST03N. So we can use it. So the use of this transaction code is for, so to get to check the workload analysis. It's a very important transaction code, workload analysis. So we can get the system load, entire workload analysis. Like either you need 5 minutes load, 10 minutes load, 1 hour load, 1 day load. Otherwise, like you need like 2 years load, three like not 2 years. So suppose you need like 1 month. So like that, we will get the load from the systems. So this is for the our analysis purpose. We will get the load from the system. So during this analysis, we will check here response time of the each and everything. How is the system response? When you give the transaction code, how the system is responding, to the users. When the user logged into the system, after that till end of the is log out, till end of the session, how the system is responding, is there any slowness for the user. So this kind of response times, wait times, all these things we can find out in the ST03 transaction codes. Suppose tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or so your manager asked you like uh, or anything, they will ask you a question like, "Hi, can you check the yesterday's load? How is the system load?" Or they will ask you like, "How is the dialog response time? What is the CPU response time? DB response time?" All the times. So we can find out in the ST03 transaction code. So this transaction code mainly used for the troubleshooting purpose, or so we can also get the workload. So for this one, you have to go to the ST03 transaction code or ST03N. Okay, both are same. Like, so ST03, ST03N. So you can use it. Okay, ST03N. So here we will get the our instances, our workload here. So here you can go to the day, or you can check the day wise count here. Right, I think here there is no load. That's why here not showing. So here we get the monthly wise load. So you can see we got the monthly wise, day wise, or if you want to 2 minutes wise, 3 minutes wise, we can also get the workload as well. We can also get the workload, or you can also get the system workload. We will get the system workload as well. How much, what is the load in the last 10 minutes back, last 4 minutes back, what is the load? All the information we can get the one table here. In this table, we can find out. Let me get the one any one of the thing. In the table, if you see here, I got the 1 month period load. So here we can see normally we will check the response time, average response time, how many minutes. So 164 seconds, milliseconds. So okay, system is okay. How many steps are happened? So these many steps are happened. What is the average processing time? How much CPU time it's taken? DB time. So entire monthly calculations like that. So roll in time, wait time, DB time, CPU time, roll wait times. Okay. So CPIC time. So all the times like GA time. When you are logging from GA, what is the GA time? How much time it's taken? So all this information we can find out here. All the information we can find out. Average number of GA time. When you log into GA time means as SAP GA time. So CPU time. CPU, how much for your request, how much time CPU allocated for us. So log time. So all the times are available, load and generation time. So all the times like DB time, how much time taken DB, how much time taken the average CPU times. So average processing time of your request. So dialogue response time. This is a very important dialogue response time. Why? Because in the dialogue response time, so we'll tell you what is your system performance, everything. Dialogue response time means our dialogue work process response time. Our dialogue work process are responding very quickly, then we don't have any issues. So it's processing very slowly means so there is some issue. Why we are checking only dialogue response time means dialogue work process are the responsible to take the user request. Okay, only dialogue clause are responsible for to take the user request, remaining are not. So that's why here we will check the dialogue response times. So not only dialogue. So here how many steps are executed? What is the average processing time for each step. Normally when we go to the one transaction code, there is a one step, one dialog step. So then after that you are clicking the next button, that is the one dialog step. Then after that you are clicking the next button, that is the one dialog step. So that is the average processing time. So average dialog response time, CPU time. For each process will occupy the some amount of CPU time, memory, GUI time, how much time, each and everything, the load, system related load, we can calculate it. Wait time, how much time it is waited to get the user request, nothing is there. How much time roll in user context, how much time it's taken to validate your response, user connections and everything. So roll wait time, how much time it is waited to get the data from the database level. So to roll waiting time, waiting period. So this kind of responses, this kind of so analysis we can get from here. So this is the information ST03. Here we will get the most of the information from the in this system. So you can also see the average user, how many users are connected, high priority users, medium priority users, low priority users, total number of users, how many are connected. So all this information we got from the systems. So based on that, if we go to suppose something is wrong here, like system is very slow. So up to I think 4 minutes, depends upon the company. So 4 minutes. So up to 4 minutes. So it's valid response time. With the more than 4 minutes, we need to analyze. We need to analyze why it's taking more time to complete the user request. Everything that and all things we have to we have to check it further. So if you go to the transactional profile, you will get the if you go to the transactional profile and standard, then at the same time you will get the more information. So during this 1 month period, so how many transactions reports, like transaction reports are executed? You can see here how many steps are each and every report. STMS, it's executed 2 steps. Response time. So this is the dialogue response time. So how much time it's taken? All the information you can filter it from here. So you can see this is the top priority. You can filter it. This is the filter button. Sort descending order, ascending order, set find button. So all these informations are available here. Okay. So if you want to filter it out, so what is the highest report? It's taken the long time. So this is the report, right? This is the report. So who executed this report? If you double click it, you will get the information. Okay, this is the user executed the report. Okay. So then after that, this is the report. What is this? This is system internal one. So then after that, what is this? RDD IMP DP. Who executed this one? So DDIC user. Someone logged into the DDIC, then he executed this transaction, this job. This is how executed. So we can see here clear cut information we can see here. So who executed this report? So DDIC user, Naresh user, and Basis user. These three users are executed this report. So like that, you can see each and everything, each and everything we will get the information. So not only just to timelines. Here we will see the who executed what, who executed and what and everything. And also here you can see the time profile. You will see the timelines as well. In this 1 month period, in whichever in whichever hours wise, in whichever we have the very high response. You can see in 21 to 24 in between we have the high response. In between in this timelines, who executed what, who executed what, who, these are the reports and these are the transactions are happened in the, these are the transactions are happened in the during this time. So you can see here. So you will not only get the just timelines, you will get the so exact report name, transaction name, who executed, and it whatever they have executed, all the information you will get from ST03 transaction code, right? You will see the 03 transaction code. All the information you will get from here. Okay. So this is the information about the ST03 and transaction code, ST03 transaction code. Normally, how this data is populating here in the screen, how the data is populating. So SAP will collect the all this information, all the information, and it will populate the here. So here to populate this data in the back end, there is a one job is responsible. That job is called the CCMS performance monitoring is the job, system internal job. System internal job is responsible to get the information from here. Okay. System internal jobs are responsible. So I think it's not running, I guess. That's why we don't see some data. I think someone changed the client to 001. We have 100 client. Go to here. Yeah, same. So data not generated. So that's why you can see the so only the first month data we have. So in the Jan data, Jan overall month data we have received it, not the others data. So here, which job is responsible here to get the job? If you go to the standard jobs, here we have the standard jobs in the system internal jobs. So this internally, the internal things will take care of all these jobs and everything, internal things. So here these jobs are not running. Someone suspended all these jobs. So that is the main reason to not get in the job here. Here, this is the job actually SAP collector for performance monitor. So this is the job is responsible for, this is the job responsible for the, so populate the data in ST03N. Here you can select it, just execute the default scheduling. So just click on OK button. All these jobs are released. All these jobs are released. So these are the standard background jobs, standard one, standard SAP background jobs, standard one, which means system internal jobs. You don't need to schedule it. Actually, this should be scheduled automatically. So we have to schedule it. Once you schedule it, it will run. What this thing will do, this will check the spools related consistency check automatically. And so monitor, there is a monitor table for performance monitor. It will check the active jobs. It will check the job statistics. It will collect the performance. It will collect the system performance and everything. It will populate in ST03 and DB02 transaction codes. So all this link orphan variants, dumps, deletions. So here you can see reorg above jobs. it will delete the old above dumps automatically. Batch inputs, old jobs will be deleted. So everything we have standard background jobs are available. It will do cleanup. So if it will do the cleanup of the which are older than 5 days, 6 days, 1 week. So that type of data will be deleted. So we have scheduled the report now. So you can see here in SM37, you can monitor it. In SM37, you can monitor. So these are the completed. So these are the released. These are the released. So it's hourly it will be released. So hourly will be released. So means these jobs are, it will collect the system performance and it will populate the data into our screen like ST03, the transaction code, it will populate the data. If the data is not populating means, so this is the job is responsible. This is the job is responsible for to get the data in that screen. Okay. So let's run manually. So instead of waiting for job to run, just click on the repeat schedule. Go to here. One time if you run it, the values will be populated. See, job is ready status. Just clicking on the active button, then this job is finished now. Now this job will trigger the some other jobs as well. This job will trigger the other jobs. Then after few minutes, after 5 minutes or 6 minutes, we will see the today's data in ST03 transaction code. Today's data in ST03 transaction code. Here, the data will be populated here. The data will be populated here. The data will be populated. Today's data will be populated in the soon. So the data will be populated here. Okay. So that type of information we can see it here. Okay. So we have to wait for some time to get the today's data. So from today now onwards, we will get the data, daily data we will get from the ST03 transaction code. So what you need to remember is here. So ST03 is for the workload analysis, to analyze the all the response times and dialogue response time and processing time, GUI time, CPU time, wait times. So all the timings we can find out here. And also here, so this job, the collector performance job, standard background job is responsible for to get the data here. Sometimes during the interviews, they may ask you question, which job is responsible, or so you are not seeing the data in ST03 or DB02 trans, you are not seeing the statistics data. So what could be the reason? So maybe this job is not running. We need to check it out whether this job is running or not. We need to check this information. So might be the reason. So sometimes the job will get cancelled or job will not run. If your job is won't running, then you will not get the data. So that's why we need to check. So job should be up and running. Job should be up and running. Then only we will see the data from ST03 transaction code. ST03 transaction code. Okay. So here you can see, right, detailed analysis view. If you go to the detailed analysis view, maybe last minute load, just if you select it, you can take the last 10 minutes load, last 5, whatever the minutes you want. Like you can just change the timelines and you can get the data as well. You can get the data as well. Okay. So not only here, application server wise or total server wise, we can take the data. So business transactions, what are the transactions, business transaction analysis also, we can do it from here. So how much time, dialogue response and everything. So in the detailed analysis view, we can take the load, 10 minutes load or daily 24 hours load or yesterday's load, we can take it out here from here. So from yesterday's load, all the load information we can take it out from the, so from the systems we can take it out. So from any time, like either 5 minutes load, 10 minutes load, half an hour load, 1 hour load, 1 day load, so 1 month load, so 2 months load, 3 months load, all the months of data we can get it and we can do the some investigation as well. Okay. So that is the thing here we can see in the ST03N transaction code. Okay. So the next one is for the ST04. Okay. Next one we have ST04 transaction code. Okay. Then after that, the DB transaction codes will happen. DB01. Okay. Or DB02 or so DB03 DB12 or DB13. So one by one we will discuss about this transaction codes. Okay. So DB related. Now DB related. You no need to you don't need to go into the database level, do the monitoring. From here also, you can do the monitoring of the our system, database performance monitor. So you can see the database related, all these transaction codes. Now the transaction codes which are coming, these all are the database related. Database performance monitor related transaction code, DB. How the DB database is working. All this information we can get from ST04 ST04 transaction code. Okay. See here. So this is the database performance. So what is the database currently we have? So, and what is the, how many CPUs are allocated, how much memory it is occupied, physical memory, how much, what is the current memory, and all this information we can see it from the system ST04 transaction code. We can see it from here. So if you want, so ST04 or DB01, DB01 for the DB locking mechanism, DB lock status. So in the database level also there is a locking. SAP level, SM12, how the SM12 is important. In the DB level, DB01 transaction code is very important. So here you will see the one difference here. When you execute the one transaction code, like either ST04 or DB01 or DB02, this is what the database space. So then DB13, DB12. So all these transaction codes are related to the database. If you execute these transaction codes, or if you go to only one transaction code, that is called the DBA cockpit. So it will give the all database related, DB related transaction code, DBA cockpit, database related transaction codes. So combination of this 4 equals to this transaction code. Either you can remember, either you need to remember these things as well. But if you open all these 4 transaction codes, you will get the same screens. And also if you go to the screen, you will get the same screen, you will get it out. Okay. See, same screen. You can see here, system landscape, performance, space, DB backup and recovery. Okay, configuration, jobs, alerts, diagnosis, all tabs are available here. If you go to here, you will see the everything here. So all these 4 transaction codes will have the same screens. We can see in the same screen, we can see their related logs. Suppose in DB01 for the database logs, you can see database log history. Are there any logs are exist in the database level? So not only SAP level, DB level logs also we can find out. Here nothing is there, so we can have to see it here. Here if something is there, something we need to block. The database level, the transaction is blocked. SAP level it is blocked, we can remove it. There is a deletion of next, right? If the database level, the transaction is blocked, definitely there is a, we need to restart the system. Why? Because if database level there is no transaction code to remove it. So nothing, there is no button as well. So we need to restart the system. Okay, that is what. So we have to do it, or we have to kill the respective process. What is causing the DB locking? Okay, so that information we have to see in the DB01 transaction code. So that is for the DB locking. DB02 is for the space history. Space, what is the space at database level? So what is the space at database level? So that information we can see it in the DB02. Same screen, you can see it the same screen, same tabs, same screens. So you will get the same tabs. Here, space history, space overview, space DB space overview, we can see it from here. So why? Because space is very important. DB space is very important in the, so for the database. Why? Because everything will be stored into the DB level, right? Everything, all the data, all the transactions, so everything will be stored into the database level. So if the database does not have enough free space, what happens? So the data will not be stored into the table level, right? So that information we can see how much is the allocated, total how much MB, and total how much allocated GBs level. It will show you the DBs, how much space it is allocated, how much free. I think free is getting less, right? We have 86 percentage it is occupied. Now we have only 13 percentage is free. So which means database is getting, in coming months, our database getting full. So database will be full. So we need to check, we need to work it, we need to increase the space. We need to increase the space at DB level, database level space, we have to increase it. So we have to check this kind of information here. So you can also see the, so in the database, total this much is allocated. If this much, which table has the largest table analysis also we can do. What are the largest tables in the system, and also single table analysis. What is the fast growing tables, the history of the everything, all the information we can find out from the. So here in ST02, sorry, DB02 transaction code, right? Database related DB space overview and everything we can find out. Here DB13, here backups. We can schedule the backups, scheduling, we can scheduling do it. So here we can check the logs of backups, LOG logs. During the database time, you will get to know what is backups and everything. You will come to know all these things. So we can check the logs. Logs means whether the backup is completed or not. So you can check in the DB12 transaction codes. Okay. So here, so in the DB02, we can see the space analysis. So total overview and which table occupied, the how much it is occupied. So all the information you can see from here, right? In DB02, top largest 50 tables available information. These are the tables. So why tables are there means database level we have only tables. Those tables, data will be stored into that tables. Data will be stored into that tables. So we have to check the table statistics, all the information we need to check it out. We need to check like fast growing table. Which tables are growing very fast nowadays? Yes, Nanda, you are going to ask some question.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes.
The backup scheduling, and we are going to scheduling the jobs, or DB team going to take care of them?
That's depends upon the company, Nanda. Like depends upon the that is called scope of work. Sometimes some organizations, DB team will take care of the backup, DB related parts and everything, right? Backups, space checking. So backups running or not, scheduling the backups. So space increasing, all these things, the database related issues. So DB team will take care of that one. Some organization they have own DB team. Some organizations they don't have DB team. So if it is the HANA, entire basis team will maintain it. But nowadays, so HANA also they are separate team is available. They will take care of all the database related information and everything. So that depends upon the organization, depends upon the project which we are doing. So that we cannot tell like only DB related, only DB team will perform it. So that depends upon the situation, the project which will go and work it out. So that depends upon that one. It's not very fixed one.
Okay, sir.
So what the like some companies, the scope of work will define it. So my team will take care of the DB related activities and SAP related activities. Some companies, okay, we have to separate the SAP activities and the DB activities. We have to separate it. So that's why we are not only letting the SAP, we are also letting the DB database as well, database related all the topics as well. So we are not sure which project we are going, but letting the knowledge is fine, right? We can get the some information. So that's why we will discuss about the database related as well. How to take the backups, what the database administrator will do. So all these things we will discuss. So here coming to our topic. So here the space, all is the space database related only. till now we have discussed about the all ST related transaction codes are the DB related, sorry, SAP related. So now onwards we are going to discuss about the DB related. So all this information we can see it from here. So here DB related space, largest tables, fast growing tables. These are the tables growing very fast. It's going very fast. How much data? So how much data? So analysis, you can also get the analysis as well. So how you can also get the table format, pie chart level, you will get the analysis as well. All the information we will get from the this transaction course. Largest table, single table analysis, all this information we will get from here. That is called the space overview, which means so our transaction code is the DB02. Okay, DB13 for the backup scheduling. So if we go to the DB13, so here is there backup scheduling. That's why if we go to here, if we go to the backup scheduling DB13, here we will find out the when was the last full backup is happened in the system, how much time. Why? Because backup is very important. Sometimes DB is crashed or SAP is crashed, we have to recover it. We have to recover the system. Why? Because many transactions are there. So all these things are there. We have to recover the system. To recover it, so we need to recover the data, we need a backup. So those backups, every day the backups will happen. So the backups related information we can see it from here. So what is the backup? So backup we can schedule it or not, we can see it from here. Okay, that is called the backup. So DB13 scheduling the backup or check the backup. See, you will get the same screen, landscape, performance, space, everything. Here, we have to create the task. We have to create the planned task for executing. Suppose if you want to take it manually, so actually everything will be automatically. But if you want to take the manually, just you need to create a one plan, you have to create it. You have to plan, you have to create it. So the task you have to add it here, then the task you have to add it here, then so if you want to take the backups, which backup you want to take it, which database. So what is the backup? Check the database consistency. So then execute immediately. Then I'm creating here. This is executing. The action is executed immediately. So that type of information, that type of thing here we are doing. Check the DB. Checking the GB task I'm doing here executed, which means this will be executed automatically. This will be executed automatically. It will be executed. So like that, if you want to check anything here, those things we can do it from here. That is called the DB planning calendar. DB13 for the DB planning calendar. Not only backup scheduler, here all the planning. Scheduling means all the planning calendar. We can calendar wise we can plan it, monthly wise we can plan it. That is called the DBA planning calendar, or we can check the backup schedule. Normally here we will schedule the backups DB13. DB12 is for the to check the logs, backup logs and everything. So DB02 space related database space related overview. DB01 locking status. ST04 for the DB performance monitor and everything. We can see it from the ST04 transaction code. ST03 workload analysis. So these are the very important transaction codes, right? So we can also, while executing all these transactions, or if you go to the DBA cockpit, is the one of the transaction code. Here you will get the same screen. All the screen you will get it out. Same screen. System performance, system monitor, landscape, space. So backups, configuration, all the information you got from here. Here, if you expand it, so each and every tab you can find out what is our system, what is our database release. We go to the database connections, you can see the how much database, how many database connections, connection monitor. So all this information we can find out from the connection monitor. We can find out from what are the database connections are opened from here. So then performance tab. So here we can see the database logs, memory, all this information. One by one we can check it out. Space. We have checked, right? DB02, space history, all the space related information. Backups, DB13, DB12,
and configurations, all the configurations. What is the database configurations? All the information we will find out from the in the DBA cockpit. So if you execute all these transaction codes, or if you go with one transaction code, this transaction code equals to all this DB related transaction codes, all these transaction codes. Okay, so if you execute either this one, or if you want to go individual wise, you can go individual wise also, you can execute it. Individual wise also you can execute it. Okay, so these are the main DB related, all the database related configurations, parameter, especially for the database. If it is a HANA database, you will get the HANA DB related information. If you Oracle, you will get the Oracle related information. All the information you will get it out from the. So everything you will get the information from here. So that's why it's a database related, all the database related. So the tables are common in each and every database, and everything data is common. Only the data product is different to store the data. Okay, so that type of information, jobs, backup, space, performance. So alerts, are there any critical alerts database level? Normally, if the alerts are means ST21, ST22, we will see the errors. In a database level, if you want to check, you can check in the DBA cockpit in alerts tab. You can check the alerts. Are there any critical alerts in the system or not? We will find out. So diagnosis files, which means log files. Diagnosis files means log files. Here we can check the log files as well, database related log files as well. We can check it out from here. So downloads. So download the spreadsheet. Suppose if you want to download the some data and everything, you can get the some data from here. Some analysis, some monitor. So how is the database performance? If you want to those data in the spreadsheet, means Excel sheet, though that we can take it from the system as well. So overall, this transaction codes for the okay. So overall, this transaction code is these conversion codes are for database related, mainly for the database related. So till now, up to yesterday, after our previous classes, we discussed about all SAP related transaction codes, DOMS, log checking, background jobs, system logs, everything. But today, using the DBA cockpit, most of the database related things we discussed in the DBA cockpit transaction code. Database related means database level free space, database performance, database logs. So database like free space checking, monitor, backups, alerts, jobs. So all these things we discussed, right? So same, either you can use the all the transaction code, or you can use the DBA cockpit transaction code. You will get the database related DBA cockpit means database cockpit, DBA cockpit. All database related information we can find out from this transaction code. Okay, so all are one. Okay, you can see it from here. So more will come, more like if you want to read more data on this backups, DB parameters, space, tables level, database level. So we will get the information during the database time. When we are discussing about the database related topic, you will get the more information. So why? Because that time we will check in the database level directly. We will do the monitoring, we will check in the space, backup, scheduling. So all these things we can check from the database level. So HANA Studio, we will check it out everything from there. So but now from if you don't have HANA Studio, we can also check from so SAP level using these transaction codes. We can use it to check it out. Okay, just you can remember. So all these things, okay, DBA related, database administration related. So information we can find out all this from here. Okay, you can find out from here. Okay, these are the transaction codes, major database related transaction codes. So apart from that, ST05 we discussed, right? Up to ST05 we discussed. If you SAP level up to ST045 we discussed 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. The next one important transaction code is for the ST06. It is for the so operating system OS related information. OS means what will be there in the OS? CPU,
space, network, right? Memory. So all this information, all this memory related informations will be seen. So not only database related. So we have the operating system also available, right? So OS, operating system. So then how can we check from SAP level, all OS related data, how can we check? So if you execute the ST06 transaction code, ST06 transaction code, previously we have checked all the database related. So even though we are not in the database, but we have checked the database related data, some performance from transactions from SAP level. There is separate everything. We can do it from the SAP level. That's not a problem. But if you have the access to the database level, we can also do. If you don't have access, we can also monitor from the our SAP level. Also, we can do the monitoring of the all the database related information and everything, all these things. Right? So here we have the SAP level transaction code to check the SAP level administration and everything. And we have the DB level transaction which is the database level. So my SAP DB is done. What about the OS operating system? So operating system also we need to check, right? So what is the space, network, CPU utilization, network utilization, memory utilization, all these things. So in ST06, we can find out all the information and everything. You can see here in ST06, you can see how many CPUs. So total, like what is the CPU average CPU utilization, system utilization, user utilization, idle time means free time. So CPU how much it is busy during the big weekdays, how many number of CPUs, what is number of cores, like so memory, total physical memory how much, how much free memory also very less, what is the swap memory, all the information we can get from ST06. Not only live utilization, this is a live data, live utilization it will show you here. But not only live here, we can also get the history as well. Previous hours related CPU information also we can get it out from here. Suppose I want to check the previous hour CPU utilization. I want to check the previous memory utilization, previous disk utilization. So previous network, LAN means LAN cable information. So all the information we can find out. History, not only previous hours, previous days history as well, we can see from the system. We can get the data from the system. So here, as I told you, right, one job is responsible to populate the data here. So that job is very important. It should run it. So it should populate the data from here in the system. It should populate the data here. So here we don't have any data. That's why it's not displaying any data here. So here only 1 hour last to 00 hour related data will be displaying here. What are the top CPU process here? So these are the top process, how much data is consuming. All the information we can find out. CPU related, memory related, so network related, disk, what is the space related, because OS level C drive, how much free space is available. So and also how much RAM if you go to the task manager, you will get the memory, right? How much CPU utilization is happening, how much memory utilization is happening, what is the network. So Ethernet means network. All this information we can find out if you have access to operating system level. But what happens? Some companies, they won't provide the access to the OS level access. Then in this case, you have to go to the ST0, you have to go to the here ST06. Then you need to find out the information. You need to find out the information of the CPU, memory, system information, all the information you can find out from the here. You can find out the information from here. How many CPUs? 4 CPUs. The 4 CPUs, out of the 4 CPUs, each CPU, what is the system utilization? What is the user utilization? All these 4 CPUs are distributing the load equally? Yes. So all this information we can find out from the here. Okay. So CPU related information. So when we have to check means during the daily monitoring, we will check the here. Also, not only daily monitoring point of view. So whenever is there any issue, suppose if the OS level we have issue, then we need to check. OS level if we have the memory issue, we need to check here. And also database related, we have to go to the DBA cockpit. SAP related, we have the SAP related transaction code. Then operating system level, we have the operating system level transaction codes are available here to check the operating system related information and everything we can find out from the
here, right? These are the ST06 related transaction code, ST06 transaction code, right? So this is the information about the all the monitoring, all the, I think, I hope you have covered all the monitoring related things. We have covered it. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to discuss about the transport management system. It's a very highly important concept. Okay. Transport management system. It's very important. But the only thing is you need to practice everything. Suppose if they ask you where to check the CPU utilization, voice level we can check it out. But if you don't have IS level access, you can check in the ST06 memo. So all the operating system related information, ST06, DB related, DBA cockpit, SAP related. We have some few SAP transaction codes, right? So those things you need to remember as part of the daily monitoring. You need to check all these things. You need to check it out, right? So you need to check whether how the system is behaving and everything. We need to check it out. So that's why daily monitoring is important. So all the transaction codes you need to remember it. Okay. So just you can practice it, those things. DBA related, DBA cockpit related, right? These are the very important transaction code, database related, everything. Then SAP related, we discussed a few transaction codes. Then apart from that, what we left, we discussed about the ST22, SM21, SM37, SM50, AL08, work process related transaction codes, background jobs, client copies. Okay, those things. Then profiles, RFC destinations are very important transaction codes. You need to, we already discussed, you need to practice it well, all these things. So what left in as part of the daily monitoring? Apart from this, these transaction codes, what left? If you go to ST06, we discussed it, right? 5 also, 5, let me explain the 5 one more time. Tracing. Suppose SQL tracing, buffer tracing, if you want to activate, you want to check the any trace, you can activate the trace. Logs checking. This is for the to checking the logs. Then deactivate the trace, click on the display log. Then you will get the logs. Logs like trace logs, you will get out what exactly happening with the system and everything. All the information you will find out from the ST05 filter. So those things we can take the system trace, performance trace. System performance means system performance is not good. It's behaving very badly. It's a very slow. That time we need to find out what is causing the issue and everything, whether the operating system level issue. Oh yes. So if any issues comes in the system, we need to check the 3 levels. One is the operating system level. If any issues comes, the investigation, the troubleshooting starts from 3 ways. One is the first we need to check are there any issues with the SAP level. Then after that DB level. Then after that we need to check the operating system level. So then we don't have access issues with the operating system, then we need to check the network issues. Normally there are no network, only few rare cases we may get the network, but most of the things you need to check the SAP level, DB level, operating system level. These 3 areas, 3 layers, we may get the issues. We know database level of issues, what transaction codes we have to execute at DB level. OS level, we have only one, that is called the ST06. Or log into the operating system level, we can monitor it. So SAP level, we have many transaction codes. Those things we know. Depends upon the issue, we can check the, we can issue the respective transaction codes. We can check it out. Right? So these are the about the daily monitoring related, daily monitoring or system performance related. So transaction codes. Okay. You guys keep on practicing it. So yeah, tomorrow we'll discuss about the TMS configurations. Okay. So any questions from anyone?